All right, if you're an Instagram creator and you're feeling stuck here in 2026, I want you to know you are definitely not alone. But what if I told you there's a simple step-by-step playbook to completely change that? Well, get ready because we are about to break down the exact system that turns those struggling accounts into unstoppable growth machines.
Does this sound familiar? I bet it does. This is the kind of message that hits my inbox every single day. That feeling of just being stuck, right? Of pouring your heart into your content only to see your reach go down. It's the #1 frustration for creators. But here's the good news. This is an absolutely solvable problem. So, what is the real secret then? Let me tell you. It's not some secret hack or a weird trick that's going to expire next week. No. The real answer is a strategic system. It's a ladder that you can actually climb step by step to build some serious, unstoppable momentum on the platform. And this is our growth ladder. First, we're going to diagnose the core problem. Then we'll climb up to fixing your foundation, mastering the 3-second hook, training that tricky algorithm. And finally, we'll get to the fun part, building your creator empire. Look, the reason you're stuck probably isn't because you're not working hard enough. Let's be real. It's because you're likely working with an old strategy that just doesn't cut it anymore. The game has totally changed, and what worked last year is frankly just not going to get you where you want to go today.
So that brings us to the very first, and honestly, the most critical rung on our ladder. You just can't build a skyscraper on a cracked foundation, right? And you definitely can't build a massive audience if your basic production quality is making people scroll right past you.
I love this metaphor. Think about it this way. Your content idea, that's the incredible 5-star food you're serving. But if your production quality, the lighting, the audio, the editing, if that's like a dirty, sticky restaurant, nobody is even going to walk in the door to try your food, no matter how amazing it is. That first impression, it is everything. Okay, let's do a quick honest audit right now. Take a look at this chart and rate your own content from 1 to 10 in these 5 areas. Go on, add it up. Is your score below 35? If it is, don't worry. You've just found your first mission. Find your single lowest scoring category and just focus all your energy on improving that one thing. Okay, so once your production quality is looking solid, there's one more foundational step that almost every creator misses. It's called priming the algorithm. This is where you actually teach Instagram what you're all about before you even think about hitting that publish button. Now, this process is super simple, but the impact is absolutely huge. For 2 or 3 days, you're going to stop posting. Yep, you heard me. Instead, you're going to spend about an hour each day engaging only with content inside your specific niche. Like and save about 10 to 20 of those posts. What you're doing here is basically feeding the algorithm data, so when you finally post your awesome new content, Instagram knows exactly who to show it to first. All right, let's climb up to the next rung. Your foundation is solid, you're making high-quality stuff, and the algorithm is starting to understand you. Now, it's all about one thing, stopping that endless scroll. Get this, according to study after study, you have less than 3 seconds to convince somebody to watch your video. Not 10, not even 5, 3. That's it. This makes your hook the single most important part of your entire reel. If you lose them in those first 3 seconds, they're gone forever. And here's the best part. You do not have to reinvent the wheel. These right here, these are battle-tested hook formulas that you can literally just copy and paste starting today. Just pick one, like the mistake that cost me X, and build your whole video around that powerful idea. It's that easy. Okay, so you've got amazing quality and a killer hook. That is huge. But if you just posted and hope for the best, you're leaving a ton of reach on the table. Now, we've got to train the algorithm to work for us and push our content out to the world. And this, my friends, is where the entire strategy changes in 2026. You need to pay close attention to this one. Google is now actively indexing and ranking Instagram Reels in its search results. This isn't a small tweak. This is a seismic shift. Your Instagram strategy is no longer just for Instagram. It's for the biggest search engine on the entire planet. So how do you take advantage of this? It all comes down to incredible focus. This brings us to what I call the one keyword rule. For every single reel you create, you've got to choose one and only one main keyword. This sends a crystal clear signal to both Instagram and Google, helping you build authority on your topic faster than you ever thought possible. And this list shows you exactly where that one keyword needs to live. You're going to weave it into your caption, your subtitles, your text on the screen. But, and this is the big one for Google search, you absolutely have to include it in your alt text. This is no longer just some accessibility feature. It is a critical SEO signal. This table really breaks it all down. You see, while Instagram loves all the social stuff, engagement, trending audio, Google can't watch your video. It reads it. Notice how things like alt text, subtitles, and keywords in your caption are absolutely critical for Google? Optimizing for both platforms isn't optional anymore. It's the key to getting discovered. Okay, we're climbing to the final rung. Let's see how all this comes together. Once you have the views, the engagement, and the reach, well, it's time to scale that momentum into something that lasts. It's time to build your empire. Welcome to the empire building phase. This is where we make a huge shift. We stop just chasing viral views and we start systematically turning all that attention into deep relationships with our audience and ultimately into revenue. And one of your most powerful tools for this is the lead magnet. So what is that? It's just an irresistible freebie, like a guide or a checklist or a template that solves one specific, painful problem for your ideal follower. The whole point is to give away so much value for free that they're just thrilled to connect with you. Now here's the really clever part, how you turn that lead magnet into a growth engine. You make reels that solve a tiny piece of a problem, and then you offer the full solution in your free guide. Your call to action is super simple. Comment guide to get it. Then with an automation tool, you send it instantly. And that flood of comments, it sends a massive signal to the algorithm to push your reel out to even more people. It's genius. Another pro-level tactic for empire building is the signature series. So instead of just random one-off videos, you create a connected series of, say, 5 to 10 reels that takes your audience on a journey from a problem to a solution. This builds incredible loyalty, gets people binge-watching your stuff, and solidifies you as the go-to expert in your space. So let's quickly recap the 4 rungs of our growth ladder. It all starts with a solid foundation of quality. Then you master that 3-second hook to stop the scroll. Next, you train the algorithm by optimizing for both Instagram and Google. And finally, you build your empire, turning all that reach into real, lasting relationships. This entire playbook, everything we've talked about, is designed to help you build an audience. But that leads us to the final and, I think, the most important question. Once you have their attention, what are you going to build for them? Because getting the growth, that's just the vehicle. The value you provide, well, that's the real destination.